Thank you. Hello everybody, my name's Craig Bennett, and today we are doing another Python tutorial, and this one is on functions. Now, this is actually very important because you will be using this if you do work in it, or maybe making your own thing. But basically, what this is let's say that, just top of my head, that for whatever reason you take a variable, I don't know, some integer or whatever, and add 2 to it for whatever reason. Well, instead of going down to code each and every place and doing +2, +2, +2, +2, what you can do is you can make a function, throw information into that function, have the function execute, so whatever +2 equals, and it throws it back. And let me give you a scenario. Well, what happens instead of +2? Now you want to do +3, and obviously the reality is you're going to be doing something a little bit more advanced, but hopefully you understand what I'm getting at. Is okay, now you got to go through each and every line of code to make sure that you got all the +2s and change them to +3s. It's just a mess. So you use functions where you can call the function, throw the information in the function if need be, get the information out, and there you go. So with the function, I could just change it one spot and we're good to go. What this also does is, instead of writing out a long thing, I can call a function and it quickens up the entire processing. So instead of the computer having to go through each and every line, it knows what the function is, or it knows where the function is, and it will just call it when needed, and it'll just read it that once, or depending on how things work. But basically, it quickens up things massively. So it can be very important when you're doing research and stuff, which is what uses Python a lot, is the research industry, because it's easy to throw something out. So as far as that goes, let's jump on in. So real quick, looking into this is, I already gotten this written out, but step by step, basically DEF means define. So define, and then you can name the function whatever you want, kind of like a variable. You just can't have special characters, numbers, things of this nature, for the starting thing. But name it whatever you want. It needs this, and then your arguments can go into that. So I'll get more into that in a second. And then you gotta close it out. Then you have your actual function. So with here, I'm just gonna have this particular function just print blah, and as we know, print, it basically just shows whatever you want it to show. So how do you call the function? Well, you put out whatever the function name is, and then you do that again with the arguments if need be in it, and there you go, and it calls it out. Realistically, you want to almost never do print whatever. Maybe in certain things, maybe, but realistically not so much. It's more troubleshooting and stuff of that nature. So with here, this is more realistic, so think of a scenario of your own, but basically what we're doing here is we're defining a function. We named the function, and then we got argument 1, argument 2. You can have as many arguments you want, or so little. So obviously we have 0 arguments right there. We got 2 here, you can have 1, whatever, but then we're closing it out. And I'm going to get into return in a second, so keep that in mind. But basically down here, what we have with argument 1 is argument 1 plus argument 2 in returns. Return is basically saying that return the answer to whatever we called it. So in this case, we are making a variable, and we say that variable equals to this, whatever that turns out to be. So we call the function like we did before, and with argument 1 we said that was 2. For argument 2, we said that was 5. And then it returned that back into here. And then, the entire thing knows that add is 7. Now, I messed up here. I wasn't thinking, but there's a few ways, obviously, you can call it. But at the end of the day, to prove it, it's right here. It says 7. And that's pretty much about it as far as I'm going to cover with this particular one. But the big thing to note is you can do quite a few things with this, but you need to know the abouts on why, or at least know where to get the information from. I was talking to a viewer yesterday, the day before, something like that, and they were asking about Python on one of my past videos. They were mentioning something about using Code Academy and a few other things. Fine. But if you're going to work in the field, what you're actually paid to do, like if you're doing this as a hobby, it's whatever. But if you're going to work in the field, and if you're going to use Python, you're going to have opportunities to work in quite a few things. Research, development, big one, because you need something that you can put out right there. Cisco uses Python, many others use Python, but you're paid not necessarily, say for example in manufacturing, I say take this SD card, put it in the package, something like that, something very basic where you know exactly what needs to be done, or the abouts on what needs to be done. In coding, 99 point whatever amount 9% of the time, almost all the time, once in a while you're told exactly use 8 font, use this button needs to be exactly that size, stuff like that. But realistically, pretty much all the time, you will be said, I want this, I got an idea for a speaker that does whatever, make it happen. That's literally about all you get. In fact, that's more than what you get most of the time, but that's pretty much all you get. So you can do follow-up questions, of course, but that's it. So you need to know where to research the stuff, which is the most important skill. But the second is mostly the you need to know the basics of the function, because if you don't know the very, 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 very basics, then you most likely won't even know what to research. That's the biggest thing. Like, I'll hire a coder that barely knows code as long as they know how to do research effectively, versus a coder that knows a lot but it takes a while and doesn't and refuses to research, because I can get more out of someone that actually researches versus someone else, because the fact of the matter is new things come up all the time and new tricks and whatever. So we didn't have version control from day one. So as far as that goes, hopefully this helps you out. I know this is a little bit extra, but hopefully that helps. But leave a like, subscribe, share, check out the Patreon and whatnot, and I'll see you in the next video. Hope you have a great day.